to pretty much any and everything that is of interest to me, interest to you. And if you do have things that are of interest to you that you would like me to react to live here on the show, all you got to do is send me topics, videos, whatever you got to at Sutton Def on Twitter and or Instagram. And I will see that and I will bring it up on screen and react to it live here. It is a beautiful Tuesday, February the 17th. I think we're finally coming out of winter, guys. We're finally coming out of winter. It's about 76 degrees here in Houston, Texas. Back home, it is still about around 50 degrees, which is actually pretty good. The high is like 51 on the East Coast, where I'm from. So, I mean, it just seems like we're finally turning the page on winter, and spring is loading. And that's what I'm happy about, right? I want this warm weather back and this cold weather gone, right? So, I don't know about you guys, but that's what I'm looking forward to. Again, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. We are streaming to a couple of new platforms today. So shout out to everybody who is watching on Twitch, which we are live on right now. And shout out to everybody who's watching on Kick, which we are also live on right now as well. Those are two new streaming platforms that we are streaming Sutton Reactions on. So if you prefer to watch on those platforms, please make sure you go ahead and head over to Sutton Reactions on all of those platforms. You can find us there as well. If you're watching on YouTube, which I know most of you guys are, some of you guys are watching on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel, which, by the way, we will be doing Quiet Storm Sports later on today, reacting to the Lounge Podcast interviews from Anthony Weaver, the Ravens' new defensive coordinator, and also Declan Doyle, the Lounge Podcast that he was featured on earlier today as well. And then tomorrow, Quiet Storm Sports, we're going to be actually live reacting to the initial press conference of both of the coordinators who are going to come out and speak about their plans for the Ravens and stuff like that. For those of you guys who don't know, yes, I am a Ravens fan. Surprise, surprise. It's pretty much like my bread and butter, my pride and joy, the Baltimore Ravens. And that's where I got my start with all this streaming stuff. So shout out to my Ravens. Shout out to our Ravens. I know a lot of you guys watching or listening here in the chat are also Ravens fans. Shout out to you guys. Let me see who's here in the live chat, because like I said, we are here live. We got 86 Ghosts in the chat. What's going on, 86 Ghosts? Says first. Yes, you were, sir. Herb says, what up, B? What's going on, Herb? Ashley, what's going on? Good afternoon. Let me see. We also got Stretch 52. What's going on, man? Taurus, what up? What up? King Blaze is in the house. Glaucoma is in the house. Asmodeus is in the house. What's going on, yo? Appreciate y'all for coming through to this episode 35, the Kevin Durant episode of Sutton Reactions. We're going to do things a little bit different today, guys, and please don't be mad at me. Okay, please do not be upset with me. We're not going to do the Lemon Olympics challenge today, or I think for the rest of this week. I'm trying to revamp that segment and make it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fun. I personally thought it was getting a little bit stale, and I want to kind of make it more interesting and fun for you guys. So bear with me on that. We're not going to do Lemon Olympics today. We're just going to react to some topics. I got a lot of things. Still a jam-packed episode here on the show. Again, episode 35 of Sudden Reactions. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Well, here we are. We're back. We're back. We're back. Let's go ahead and get into some reactions now. All right, there we go. So we're going to go ahead and dive right into it, guys. I want to start with this, right? I want to start with this because this is something that I mentioned last week on the show. And it was funny because I brought up that Chipotle DoorDash delivery topic, right? You guys remember the guy was delivering DoorDash to a lady who ordered Chipotle, and he hands her the bag, right? And as soon as he hands her the bag, I guess since he had the Chipotle bag in one of those insulated bags that keeps your food hot, the bottom of the Chipotle bag got super duper soggy and it fell right through. And I know what you're thinking, Sutton, why are we talking about this again? You talked about it for like 10 minutes last week. Trust me, I get it. I gave you guys a whole play-by-play on what happened. But I have an update. I have new revelations, right, about this whole Chipotle debacle, and there's a solution. There's a solution to it. What up, Chris? Appreciate you for coming through. There's a solution to it, and it's genius. I never would have thought of this, but it is absolutely genius. Take a look. So apparently, all you have to do to solve the problem of your Chipotle bag getting soggy is just flip the bowl upside down. That's all you got to do. Because the steam, I mean, the aluminum top is not going to get hot. You feel me? What up, Tila? The aluminum top is not going to get hot. Therefore, it's not going to make the bottom of the bowl or the bottom of the bag soggy. I mean, that's genius. I never would have thought of that. It's a simple, quick, and easy fix. I'm over here doing mental gymnastics last week. Like, yeah, maybe Chipotle should switch from paper bags to plastic bags. That way it doesn't burn through the bottom and shit like that. But no, all you got to do is just flip the bowl over. Now, I think what Chipotle could do is start purposely building their bowls like this, right? Put the branding and everything on the top of the bowl, this white part here, and then keep the aluminum, build the bowl from the aluminum part. Like that is all you need to do. Right, because obviously here they build it on the bottom side of it. So when you flip it over like that, you do got to kind of scoop out a little bit of the food from the bottom of the bowl and put it into the aluminum part. So maybe they start building the bowls with the aluminum side down. That makes so much sense. Mind is blown. My mind is blown. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. My mind was blown when I saw this. Easy fix. Easy fix. Again, shout out to y'all watching live right now. If you're part of the replay gang on this one, please still leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. This is Sutton Reactions, episode 3-5. Let me see. What do y'all think about that? Ashley says, I've heard of this. Taurus says, we are doomed as a society. How are we doomed? I think that's genius. ISO, what's good? I think that's genius. And it's such a quick and easy fix. Love it. Herb says, wait, what? Yeah. You remember when I was talking about the Chipotle bowl falling through the bottom of the bag? All you got to do when you put it in the bag is just flip the bowl over so the aluminum side is on the bottom, because the heat is not going to burn through the aluminum. It's not going to make the bottom of it soggy. Easy fix. Easiest fix I've ever seen. I love it. Tila says no horrors equals no like. Come on, Tila, don't be like that. I'm trying to revamp the Lemon Olympics. The Lemonade Olympics, as you would call it. I'm trying to revamp the Lemon Olympics so that way it's more fun and interactive and engaging for you guys, because eventually it does get a little bit boring, right? All these same scenarios. So we'll get back to it, I promise. Let me see. Herb is in the chat. What's going on, Herb? Appreciate you for coming through. Herb, I got to ask you about something, man. I might need a favor. From you, Herb. We'll be in touch. Let me see. Tor says we're doomed, Sutton, because why they ain't been doing that? That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. They should have been doing this. Could have protected their bottom line, protected their public relations. But no, I don't know. I just don't know why. I don't know why they haven't been doing it. Kogan, what's going on? Kogan says whether they do this or not, still carry the brown bag from the bottom. They can't be trusted. I agree with that too. Still carry the brown bag from the bottom. If it's heavy, especially if you got 2, 3, 4 bowls stacked on top of each other in one Chipotle bag, then yeah, it could still possibly fall through the bottom just because of the weight. But this fixes the problem of the heat from the bowl actually affecting the bottom of the bag. So I think it's genius. I think it's absolutely genius. But let's move on here. I didn't want to spend too much time on that. I spent enough time talking about that last week on the show. Just want to give you guys a little update there. Valentine's Day was this past weekend, right? And I want to show a young man surprising his young lady on Valentine's Day, but she was not too impressed. Let's take a look.
You can move your hands. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You like this? Setting the vibes up. You see all that's right here? Mm-hmm. Happy anniversary, baby. Happy anniversary.
She don't look very... It's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah.
What the hell you mean it's cool? Girl, you don't see you all over the place? It's nice as hell.
I'm crashing out off rip. He said, what you mean it's cool?
Like, you do this for 15-year-olds. Like, you should have bought me something or did something or...
So this ain't good enough? Look at all this. This is romantic as fuck.
Okay, but I'm grown as fuck. Like, this is childish.
Bro,
like,
you talking about you
cool.
grown?
It's cool. cool.
Grown people don't complain about stuff
Okay,
that
but
somebody
I
gives
said
them.
it's cool. Like it's cool. You know,
So she clearly is not clearly not impressed by what she sees here. I mean, the man, you know, booked a hotel. He got balloons, hung up pictures of her and him, I assume, and decorated the bed and stuff like that. It seemed like he did a lot. And I think on the wall I saw happy anniversary. So this must double as an anniversary and a Valentine's Day type of surprise.
it's
That's all it is. All right, cool. I just try to show you. I appreciate you. I show you a whole.
Look at that. I mean, you got pictures of them and stuff hanging from the ceilings. That takes some effort, right? And I think the biggest thing is like, you know, people want to see effort or some sort of planning on Valentine's Day, right? And I think that this guy did a pretty good job, to be honest with you. If you ask me, I don't know if what gift is there, if you got her a gift or whatever, but this is a nice gesture to me.
Whole little room, you know what I'm saying? Rent this room and all, got it together. Look, nice picture box.
All this you spent on this, you could have spent this on something like something else, going out drinking or something like something.
Going out and drinking. So first you say you're too grown for a decorated hotel room, which okay, I get it. Cool. It's something that, you know, maybe this is another one of those keeping up with the Joneses things where, you know, if it's not Instagrammable enough or if it's like too similar to what everybody else is doing on Instagram, then it's not good enough. Maybe it's one of those things, but like you're saying you could have replaced that with just like going out and drinking.
You want to do that? We can just buy together. You tripping? I just hooked us up, bro.
I vibe with you every day. I vibe with you every day.
Bro looks stressed.
Be all the time, man. Like, you ain't grateful for shit, bro. You worry about what you vibing with, man. At the end of the day, I'm trying to do something nice for you. So you don't like this like that?
At this point, I would have stopped. I would have been stopped recording, by the way. Like as soon as she was like, it's cool, I would have stopped recording, pulled up my photo reels or photo camera or whatever, and deleted the video. Off rip.
Yeah, man. Fuck this anniversary, for real. You can move your
So yeah, I don't really know too much else what to say about that. Let me see what y'all are saying here in the chat. Let me see. Glaucoma said, nah, this can't be real. Asmodeus says, are they married? If not, run. Ashley says, I hate these videos. Ungrateful. I wish someone did this for me. I mean, yeah, it looked like you put in some pretty good effort. It's the thought that should count, says Stretch. And I agree. I agree. I mean, bro hung pictures from the ceilings. How many dudes you know are hanging anything from the ceiling? You like he had to get on the bed. Like imagine he had to get on the bed or get a little ladder or something, stand on a chair, something, get some tape, right? Attach the photo to a string, tape it up to the ceiling, space it out nicely, put the flowers in the nice little the flower petals in a nice little arrangement on the bed. That's thought right there. That's effort. You know what I'm saying? But she's saying like, oh, instead of doing this, we could have just went out to go eat or went out to go drink. It's like, what do you just want to be seen or something? Like what are we talking about? And I'm sure that's not the only thing that he planned on doing with her that night. Besides maybe, you know, getting some little cutty or whatever, right? But I'm sure that's not the only thing he had planned. I don't know. I don't know. The nails tell me a lot, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. The nails tell me a lot. Whole lot. Childish, childish, childish. Sometimes it's never enough, says Herb. It's never enough. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me see here. Let me see. That kind of energy would make me softer than Zach Orr's defense. Defenders. Yeah. Me doing something like this before I understand how long this shit takes. Yeah, I mean, it would take a minute. It would take a minute. ISO says, a nigga ain't pimp enough for her. I mean, bro, again, you embarrassing yourself by even putting this video out, by even continuing to record. The moment she is like, okay, it's cool, you stop recording, delete the video. Off rip. Mike says, did I miss the horror challenge? No horror challenge today. You didn't miss it because we're not doing one today. We're revamping it. I'm revamping that segment, and it will be back soon. Not exactly sure when, but it will be back soon. I'm going to make it bigger and better for you guys. Promise. So you didn't miss anything, Mike. We're actually just getting started here on this episode 35 of Sutton Reactions. Let's go ahead and move on, guys. Hopefully you guys had a good Valentine's Day. I know I did. I mentioned yesterday on PRP, took my lady to the gun range and we had a good time shooting. And then we also went out to eat as well. And then we just went in the house and we watched some movies. We watched like 3 movies that night, and we were up till maybe like 1, 2 in the morning just watching movies with each other. Just enjoyed each other's company at the house. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I told you guys don't be mad at me for the No Limit Olympics, guys. I told you guys don't be mad. Don't be mad. Let me see. Asmodia says, I was good. I got high. I couldn't complain. Man, that sounds good. That sounds nice. I have not been doing any of the extracurriculars, the vices this month, right? I did have a little drinky drink on Valentine's Day just to celebrate with me and my lady, but haven't done any of that this month. It's been a dry February for your boy, but I will be back in March. We'll be back in March. That's for sure. That is for sure. Let me see what else we got here. So this lady went on a date. I don't know if it was for Valentine's Day or what, but she went on a date and she mentioned that she had children to her date, and her date ditched her.
I told him I have 2 kids, and he say, I need the restaurant. And it's been 45 minutes, nothing. 45 minutes. Well, he never came back from the restaurant, so I think I have to pay.
It's a $79 tab.
And leave.
By the way, real quick before I get into what is so wrong about this video, at least in my opinion, I love, I love restaurants that have the little kiosk on the table to where you can pay whenever you want. I love those type of restaurants. Like when I'm ready to get my card out, pay real quick, it's right there on the table. I don't got to flag down a waiter, waitress, nothing. I can just pay real quick and be on my way. I love that. All restaurants should have these, to be honest with you. But this is fucked up.
Yeah. So I'm gonna leave cash. So, yes. Pretty. Thank you for leaving me alone on this day. I told him.
So, yeah, you saw it there. I guess they maybe they matched online or something like that.
I have 2 kids, and he say, I need the restaurant. And it's been 45 minutes, nothing.
And the fact that she waited for 45 minutes while he was in the restroom. I mean, after a good 15, 20 minutes, she should have known exactly what was up. After 15 minutes, you should have just known, like, hey, look, I'm going to have to foot this bill and then I'm going to get the hell out of here. But let me just say this dude is a certified, bona fide lame. Lame as fuck. I don't even know how to. I don't even know how to put it any better than that. It's just if you okay, if you meet somebody, right, and you match with them on a dating app or something like that, and you guys set up a date to go out, whatever. The very least you should do is see the date through. Nothing that she says at that table, unless it's like extremely rude or disrespectful, or she's just like, like rude or disrespectful, right? Nothing that she says should prompt you to get up, lie to her, and say, "Hey, look, I'm gonna go to the restroom. I'll be right back," and then ditch her. And she mentioned that, she mentioned to this guy that she had 2 kids or whatever, and that scared him off. Buddy, this lady here looks probably, I don't know, maybe late 20s, early 30s, something like that. And I assume that the guy she was dating is probably somewhere around the same age group. Buddy, when you get to dating in, people in their late 20s, early to mid 30s, things like that, a lot of them have children. Newsflash. People have sex in their 20s and their early 30s, and kids pop out. So when you're going to, meet strangers online, and set up dates with them, maybe it's smart to ask a question in your vetting process like, hey, do you have children? Now, is that something that she should omit from him in their time, like building up to this date, when in their text exchanges and things like that? Should she have maybe mentioned that? Yeah, that's a pretty key part of conversation when you're just getting to know somebody. I mean, it shouldn't all. I mean, again, they look grown. The conversation shouldn't just be like, oh, what's your favorite color? What kind of movies do you like to watch? What kind of food do you like to eat? No, like you should ask the important questions, the hard hitting questions, the hard hitting questions. Hey, do you got kids? Are you educated? Did you go to school? Where do you work? You know what I mean? What's your relationship like with your parents? And maybe some of those are a little bit too prying for somebody that you just met. But if this is somebody who you're actually going to go out on a date with, you should know these things beforehand, well beforehand. You also should do your research. You also should do your research. I mean, why are you going out on a date with somebody if you haven't checked, look through their Instagram, their Facebook? I mean, that would be me. I've never done dating apps. But hypothetically speaking, if I had, right, and I got to the point where I was setting up a date with somebody off of a dating app, I would do my due diligence and scrub their social media to see if I can find some things that maybe they're not telling me. And you're telling me you went on her Facebook, you went on her Instagram or her Twitter or whatever, and you saw nothing about the kids, like not even a hint. And maybe you didn't. Some people hide their kids from the world. That's their prerogative. But these are, again, questions that you have to ask, especially as a grown person. But there's nothing more childish than agreeing as an adult to go out on a date with another grown adult and then ghosting them at the restaurant and leaving them with the bill after you find out they have kids. Super childish, super lame, and dude's a bitch for that. Period. Dude is a scumbag for not paying for his share of the tab. Facts, bro. Come on, man. Asmodia says I wouldn't ditch her, but there wouldn't be a second date, and that's fine. And that's fine. Exactly. Like just see the date through. And then after that, just respectfully. You can say, hey, look, I mean, I was looking for somebody, like respectfully, I was looking for somebody who, didn't have children yet. I respect you. I mean, had a great time, whatever. But I don't think that we should see each other going forward. Like, where is your maturity at? Honestly, if you're doing shit like this, you're not ready to date, big dog. You're not. You're just not. If that can scare you off. Kogan says, damn, either ask her about the kids before you go on a date if it's that big of a deal, or finish the date and be a gentleman about it and just not continue dating after. Exactly. Stretch says, very lame. Just man up and express your displeasure instead of ghosting. Easily, man. Easily. Easily. Chump shit, says ISO. Exactly. Let me see. Asmodia says, it's guys like him that make women have nasty personalities like that. Ungrateful women in the other video too. Oh, yeah, like the other woman. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Men and women can both be scumbags. They can both be scumbags. Humans can be scumbags. D1 goofy, Division 1 goofball. That's for sure. For sure. Glaucoma says, bro, got a baby mama with a free night. He is tweaking. Oh, yeah, because if she had a free night, hey, listen, man, ain't no telling what could have happened, you know? I'm saying. You feel me? Do better, though. Do better, though. Hurt people hurt people. I wouldn't have ghosted her with the bill, but she should have been upfront. Everybody should be upfront about their situation. This is also very true. Very true. Very, very true. And honestly, I don't know what this dude is looking for. I mean, maybe he's looking for those are the type of dudes who are looking for virgins, to be honest with you. Be straight up. I mean, because what do you think is going to happen? Insane. Insane. Let's move on, though. Dude's a goofy. Like Glaucoma says, D1 goofball. D1 goofball. Let's move here, though. Let's move here. Sticking on the restaurant industry and, the stuff like that. We've talked about tipping culture here on this show before. And I want to bring it back up. I want to bring it back up because we talked about DoorDash, we talked about tipping. This was a video of a guy who ordered DoorDash but left $0 for the tip, but he was surprised about how his DoorDash treated him. Let's listen.
The person comes up and they immediately see me and their eyes turn red and I get confused. I'm very perplexed. And they say, "You the bro didn't leave a tip?" And immediately this happens. He tosses it down. I'm a little bit confused. Why'd you toss it down? It was strange. It immediately tossed my drink down. I was confused. My drink is right there. Just tossed my drink down from not leaving a tip. I was a little bit perplexed. I said, "Why'd you do that?" He said, "Have a good day." And he walked away. Now, naturally, I should expect this. I'm in Detroit. I should just know this. This should be par for the course. But it really messed me up. Is a tip that serious? Is that real? Is that a real thing? DoorDashers, I know you can see the tip. I understand that. But to destroy an entire order over the monetary value of what I just wanted this morning is insane. To waste the entire thing. It's still there. I'm just looking at it. I'm not cleaning it up. It's really insane to me to do something like that. That feels partially, I don't know, a bit of an overreaction, a slight bit of an overreaction, in my opinion. Maybe I'm psychotic, maybe I'm crazy, maybe my soul is left adrift, maybe I'm just dumb, maybe that might be me, but this feels like a bit of an overreaction. And I had to taught DoorDash and explain what happened, and they said, "That sounds unreasonable. We'll definitely give you your credit back. Would you like to order the same thing?" I said, "Yeah, I'd like to order the same thing. That'd be great." Now I'm scared to not leave a tip. A little bit scared to not leave a tip. I'm a little bit terrified, honestly. This is a one-off instance, by the way. I usually try my best to leave a tip if I have the money. But this is insane. This feels targeted somehow. It's weird. This is weird. The person comes up.
So you heard it there. A gentleman orders Dunkin' Donuts or some coffee or whatever like that on DoorDash. He left nothing for a tip, and his driver saw red. Maybe that was his 13th reason. And he decided to spill his drink in front of him and basically say, "F you, have a great day, have a great life, have the life you deserve," type shit. And the guy is just like perplexed here. He's like, "Oh, I don't know what I did wrong. I mean, is a tip really that serious?" It's like, look, listen. As somebody who has DoorDashed and Uber Eats before and been a driver for them, yes, a tip is that serious. Reason why is because the base pay for a lot of these orders is only a couple of bucks, right? It's normally $2, $3 or something like that, that DoorDash or Uber Eats is going to pay your driver. And this is my personal opinion. If you do not have the money to, at the bare minimum, tip somebody what it would cost for them in gas to get to and from the restaurant to your house, then you don't need to be ordering DoorDash. And I get it. I get it. Some of you guys might disagree. "Oh, Sutton, there's what about all the fees? You know, there's a service fee and there's a this fee and a that fee on DoorDash, the Uber Eats." Who cares? At the end of the day, your dasher is not seeing any of that money. You might think, "Oh, well, that's not my problem." Well, listen, if it's not your problem, go pick up the damn food yourself. If you can't tip $1 or $2 that it would take in gas burned for somebody to hand deliver you your food from a restaurant, then you don't need to be ordering food delivery. You just don't. Period. Now, when I was doing my DoorDash days and Uber Eats and stuff like that, did I personally ever do anything like this? No, absolutely not. I always gave the top notch customer service. You know what I mean? Like, even if somebody tipped $0 and they lived in an apartment complex high rise or an office building where I had to go up to the umpteenth floor or whatever, I had to climb a bunch of stairs, whatever, I still provided the utmost customer service, the best customer service possible. But not everybody's like me. I understand that. Not everybody has the patience and the tolerance that I do. And some people are literally, a lot of people who are door dashing and Uber Eatsing, and trust me, I've been here before, are literally on their last, right? And they're trying to do anything that they can just to make ends meet. So it comes off as like, a slap in the face and also entitlement when you tip nothing at all. right? Again, a lot of people use the excuse of, oh, there's a bunch of fees tacked on and whatnot. So I'm already paying out the nose to order from DoorDash before tip. But that's the luxury, man. That's the luxury that you're paying for. You don't have to leave your house. You get to go on your iPhone, your Android or whatever, your smartphone, click a couple of buttons, and in half an hour, somebody's going to show up to your door with hot food. You ever ordered room service at a hotel? You know how much they charge for that? It's like that, except you get the pick of the litter of any food that you want delivered to you. So again, that guy said here, let me, normally I try to tip, but I guess today he just didn't have it to tip. If you don't have the extra $2, even $2 to at the bare minimum cover gas for that person. Because people who Uber Eats and DoorDash, they beat their cars up. And we're not even talking about the maintenance, right? Because it's not like they're driving a company car. No, they're driving their own personal vehicles. You could at least give them gas money, my dog. At least. At least. Let me read what you guys are saying in here. As Modia says, as a former delivery driver, I don't give a fuck how much money you paid for the food. Give a tip. Exactly. Exactly. Kogan says you better clean that up if you don't want ants. Yeah, somebody gonna have to clean that up. I always make sure to tip drivers something at least. King Lee says I always tip. Glaucoma says this is why I pick up. Delivery is a last resort. Ashley says I've had customers tip bait me to where they will give a decent tip, then remove it after I've delivered their food. Really? Oh, you know what? Yes, I have seen that before. I have dealt with that too. That happens because you can adjust the tip after your order is delivered. Because sometimes you can go ahead and you can tip more, but I think they allow you to decrease it as well. People do that. People do that because when you're an Uber Eatser or a DoorDash or whatever, and a new order comes to your screen, um, it might tell you like, oh, you're gonna get like $15 for this delivery that you only have to drive 2-3 miles for it. And you're like, oh, great. You know what I mean? Because most Door Dashers, if you've never done it before, you ideally want to get $2 per mile, right? So to make $15 off of only going 3 miles, that is a great deal. That's a great deal. But sometimes people can tip more up front. And then when you deliver their food, they can go ahead and decrease the tip down to $0. So they get their money back. And you were thinking that you just did a great order. But later on, like an hour later, you realize you got nothing for that. You got maybe $2, $3 from that order, you know? So it's a shitty thing to do. It's a very shitty thing to do. I don't think that they should allow you to decrease the tip once you already submit it, right? You can increase it, but you can't decrease it. And if there's any reason why you would decrease it, hey, take it up with DoorDash. Call the support and tell them what happened, whatever. Be able to prove it, and then maybe you can get your tip back. Let me keep reading here. Jerome Bigby says at least 10% of the order. Yeah, that'd be nice. Herb here is a good guy. He says at bare minimum $5 tip. That's a good, you're a good orderer. Herb, you are. Let me see. ISO says, but as a DoorDash driver, you should know not everybody has it like that. So don't be surprised. And that was kind of my logic and reasoning. Like when I was doing DoorDash and stuff like that, like I would understand that like a lot of people who order DoorDash literally cannot leave their house, whether it be because they are working from home or whether or not they have kids or something like that. That's why a lot of people order DoorDash, Uber Eats, all that stuff to begin with. And so I would always keep that in mind when somebody didn't tip or they tipped like very, very low, like I would just always give grace. But again, you're also going to have people, DoorDashers, who don't have it like that, who don't have it at all. And that's why they're DoorDashing. Some people who aren't using it as just like supplemental income. They're using it as their primary and only source of income. I've been there. You know what I mean? And like it can be very frustrating. It can be extremely frustrating when you're working that hard, right? And putting that many miles on your car and stress and wear and tear on your car and stuff like that and burning up gas just for somebody not to tip. It sucks. It sucks. Jerome says, I live in the boonies, so I tip a 20 just for coming out here. That's nice. That's really nice. Let me see. Glaucoma says, I refuse to pay $20 for something that costs $8 to pick up. Oh, man. I don't know if I've ever tipped 20 for a DoorDasher. That's a lot. Now, if you are ordering, I saw this other video online. I should have saved it, but it was a similar sort of thing because some DoorDash orders require you to go and shop for like groceries and stuff like that. There was this one video I saw, guys, where this lady, she lived in like a house with like a really long driveway, and she ordered like 6 or 7 or 8 cases of water from the grocery store, and she didn't want the delivery person to pull their car into the driveway, right? She wanted the delivery person to stay at the bottom of her long ass driveway, like an abnormally long driveway that was all windy and twisty and turny and stuff like that, and walk each case of water to the door. And this woman left no tip. So the nerve of some people, like the unmitigated gall of some people, is perplexing. Again, it's I don't understand it. Bunch of malarkey is what it is. Bunch of malarkey. Let me see. As Modi says, when I was delivering, I was also working another job at a Halloween store and doing 21 credits in community college. My man was hustling hard. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My recommendation, do not push overworked and underpaid people. Exactly. Exactly. Kogan says, I would have left the cases at the end of the driveway. That's exactly what I would have done. And I would have dared her to complain about it. Literally dared her to complain. I'll call DoorDash for you or Uber Eats for you and tell them the situation. Because you got me all the way effed up. Ashley says, one lady tipped me $20 cash after I got lost driving on the back roads to get to her house at night. I was terrified driving around at night. That's also the worst, too. When people live in the boonies, like Jerome said, and it takes a minute to get to them, and you know it's going to take you a minute to get out of there and get back to the area where you're going to receive more orders. Yeah, you got to tip. You got to tip. You just have to. Crazy that some people don't, though. It's wild. It's wild. But all right, guys, let's move on here. Let's move on. Enough about that. Enough about that. Let's see. We'll talk about some more tipping stuff tomorrow because I got another good one. I got another juicy one for you guys tomorrow, again, on tipping culture, because it's very interesting to me. Tomorrow's will be even more interesting, more juicy than today's. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel as well. If you are watching live here, if you're part of the replay gang, shout out to you. My name is Sutton Def, and you're watching episode 35 of Sutton Reactions. Again, big shout out to everybody who's watching on the other platforms. We are now streaming on Twitch. We are also streaming on Kick as well. We have been streaming on YouTube and Twitter. So shout out to you wherever you may be watching, however you may be watching. Again, thank you. Thank you for all the support. It does not go unnoticed, guys. Our next topic is this is a big one. And I've really been kind of mentally battling with this because of a conversation that we had a couple of weeks ago. And I don't want to sound contradictory to what I was saying a couple of weeks ago, but I might have to because I think it might be a little bit apples to oranges. Artificial intelligence. And it's in the title of the episode. Artificial intelligence is now making cinema grade movie scenes. And it's only a sign of what's to come. And if you haven't seen this phenomenon yet, I want to show you an example here of a scene from an action movie, seemingly, that was made in under 24 hours for probably maybe $20 worth of AI credits from an AI software called Cdance 2.0, which is taking over the internet right now. This is what again, what I'm about to show you is entirely made with AI, and it was made under a day. And Hollywood is shaking in their boots. Let's take a look.
I'm really busy. Can you get Sophia today?
What? No, I have a meeting. I can't.
Oh, shit. Fine.
Reporting what is being called a geomagnetic storm. This is a phenomenon.
What up, world class?
Information as it comes available. Stay tuned to this channel for continuous coverage.
I haven't seen the MJ movie yet. She really moving.
Sophia! Mom! I love you. I'm on my way. I need you to hide. Get underground.
Damn, this should look crazy, y'all, don't it?
Good morning, Sleeping Beauty.
Man, that Cash Patel?
Why don't you get the president on the phone?
Oh, shit. Oh, hell.
We have her.
I'll be right there.
Fam. If that shit don't look crazy, I'm telling y'all, this is the future. This is the future of cinema and movie making. And to be very honest with you guys, and this may surprise a lot of you, but I don't have a problem with it. I don't. And the reason why I don't have a problem with it is this. Here's the deal. For years, and since the beginning of film, there have been creators who want to tell stories who did not have the access. They didn't know the right people. They didn't have the resources to get stuff like this done. And so their stories, genius stories at that, went by the wayside and nobody ever heard these stories. Right? But with this tool, and you know what? Before I go further, it's very similar to me to the athlete, the young kid athlete who grew up in the hood and did not have the resources to take his athleticism and his talents to the next level. Do you know how many better basketball players we would have had than Michael Jordan and LeBron James? Better football players than we would have had, better than Tom Brady, hell, Lamar Jackson, if they just would have had a chance. Let's reel it back. There's so many people out there who have stories to tell, who again don't have the resources to tell those stories. And I think that with AI, if used correctly, used as a tool, right? Not necessarily a vehicle in itself to just create the story, you know, the visual effect, everything, all AI. No. If you can plug your own story in, which a lot of people will do, and you don't have to pay buku amounts of money, or you don't have to know people in the industry to bring your vision to life, I think that that's a net positive. And a lot of you guys I know, I get it, may disagree. Please let me know why in the chat. If you're watching the replay, let me know down below in the comments. But I think this lowers the barrier of entry. Again, for people who want to tell their stories but do not have the means to do so. There's so many creative minds out there. There's so many creative minds out there. And just like anything else that has to do with AI, as long as we can put it in a box and we can compartmentalize AI content from, I guess you can say human made content, totally 100% human made content, then we should. It should be in two different categories. I'm still sticking with that. But to you out there who has ever had an idea about, hey, this would be a really, really cool Netflix original for a series, or this will be a really dope idea for a movie or something like that. But I don't have the means to do that. I don't know the right people in the industry. So I guess it'll just never happen. Nobody will ever know about it. I think this is a positive tool to utilize. Right? Again, I'm not for, the AI coming up with the stories. I still want writers. Don't get me wrong. I still want writers, right? And I also want actors to get paid. And I think that there should be there should be a tax, right? It should cost even more. Like say I'm Michael B. Jordan or somebody like that, and somebody wants to utilize AI to make a movie using my likeness and my character, Michael B. Jordan. You should have to pay me even more money, right, to use my likeness in an AI generated movie than you would if it was just like a regular Hollywood, I'm acting myself. Right. So I do still want actors to get paid. I want actresses to get paid, all that good stuff. And again, human movies will always be produced, I think at least. But this is just like, it's like a turn of the century type of thing. You know what I mean? We're going to have to adapt to this. We cannot run away from it. And my biggest thing is I want people's stories to get told. Like the people who don't have that voice, the people who don't have that opportunity. That's all I want. Let me see. Glaucoma says, but you see, the issue is they can have you doing anything, things you don't agree with. Well, see, here's the thing. There should be guidelines in place. There should be rules and laws in place to where you have to consult the actor and you have to have a contract with them. They should know exactly what they would be doing on camera with their AI generated whatever. They should know exactly. And if you breach that contract, you can get the pantsuit off of you. That's what I believe. What else you're saying here? World Class says, I think it's a plus for YouTubers and content creators, though. I agree. It's great for YouTubers and content creators. Imagine how much more original content we're going to get. Because it's not just Hollywood. Because think about what Hollywood is doing now. Hollywood is already damn near AI, not in the literal sense, but figuratively, in the sense that all they're doing is just regurgitating the same shit over and over and over again. The same stories, right? the same plot lines and things like that, the same villain arcs and everything that has worked for the past 100 plus years, right? Since film really became a thing. They're just regurgitating all of that. And if you don't have the means to come in and really start doing your own thing, then your stories will never get told. And this is why I think that this could be good for the movie and the entertainment industry. Some of you guys are saying hard pass, using up all the water, SMH. That is one thing. For the environment, probably not the best. Not gonna lie to you. Because, I mean, think about it. All the stuff you saw, and I'll actually replay it. I'll just turn the sound off. All the stuff you saw in this video here takes days to render. Like buildings falling, the CGI that takes like planes crashing into cities and stuff like that. That takes days to render. And not only that, it takes millions of dollars to produce. So to be able to generate this, see, like stuff like explosions like that, millions of dollars, hours per frame of rendering that you can do in minutes with AI. It just makes it a lot more efficient. And again, it lowers the barrier of entry from small time creators who want to get into this industry, who want their stories to be told. But again, they didn't have the means, the resources, and they didn't know the right people. This will help them. Let me see. What was the name of the app you mentioned earlier? Dance. Dance. SEE Dance. DANCE. 2.0. I want to say it is. Jerome says, if you use the AI software who owns the rights of the film and the profits, if the creator owns the rights, then what's the incentive for the AI company? Well, that's the thing. The AI company would no longer charge what? A couple dollars per credit for you to do something like this. The AI would charge whatever they want. Whatever developer of the AI that can generate stunning imagery like this, they would be the ones then charging you out the ass, pretty much whatever they want for you to be able to do this. And I guess that raises the barrier of entry. Again, it does. But my point is, you don't necessarily have to be doing all of this. If you want to tell stories like this, then yeah, you got to have some money. But if you want to tell stories that are more down to earth, that don't take as much, you know, um, um, special effects and things like that, like you see here, like say you want to tell a nonfiction movie, a story about a coming of age, just for example, a coming of age story about a kid coming up through high school or whatever, and you don't need all the special effects, and you just really need your dialogue and your story plugged into an AI that can give you characters, like fictional characters that can spit out the lines and whatnot. You can adjust to what you want them to look like and how you want them to convey feeling and emotion and what they're saying and stuff like that. Should be cheaper. So Hollywood could probably still, they can still be in business because eventually the AI companies are going to realize, like, hey, look, like we're not going to have you making millions and millions of dollars at the box office using our program that you only paid $50 for, right? They're going to raise their prices, especially if you're doing stuff like this on this level. But that's the future, man. That's the future. But that's a very good point, Jerome. That's a very good point. Kogan says, what do you think AI is going to do? It's learning from those past works and will continue that cycle. Interesting. I can see an avatar business for graphic designers. That too. That too. That's a great point. World class. I think we're gonna start moving towards because at the end of the day, even making this through AI is not easy. You're gonna have graphic designers who are gonna design characters and that you can plug into the AI. That's gonna be a job that's created. You're gonna have not only script writers, but prompt engineers, which is already a thing. Because you have to prompt the AI to get it to do stuff like this. You can't just type in, oh, give me a cool action movie with buildings falling, planes crashing out of the sky, and Tesla cyber truck with blonde woman. It's not going to give you this if you just type that in. You have to be very, very specific and meticulous in your prompt writing. Prompts are going to be just as important as scripts. If you can write a script, cool. But can you write a prompt that can bring that script to life? That's where the magic is going to come from. It's another job created. So it's just a shifting of again the career field and things like that. And the people who have been in Hollywood for a long time, the directors, producers, cameramen, they're directors of photography. They're scared because they know they're going to eventually be phased out of this. But that's what's going to happen with most industries that can be aided by artificial intelligence. You're just going to have to pivot. You're going to have to get with the times. King Lee says, I'm about to get rich working with AI. Boom, bingo. Instead of complaining about it, hop on board early. Learn how to be a prompt engineer. Hell, I might learn how to do that. There's going to be extreme value in knowing how to prompt AI software to get it to do and spit out what you want it to spit out. So instead of running away from it, instead of rejecting it, if you embrace it now, it's like getting into, a stock, like it's like getting into Bitcoin in 2010. That's what this is. If you can learn that skill, you will be up for the rest of your life because this is not going anywhere. And with the environment and things like that, there will be measures put in place to where it's not killing the environment. I mean, there's too many smart people in the world for them not to be able to like circumvent a problem like that. Yeah, you're gonna need an extremely good PC, that's for sure. Extremely good PC. AI company will get the money on the back end. Yep, I agree. I agree. I agree. World Class says I can also see a flaw where we'll see repetitive graphics from content creators copying each other like they do now, especially the free stuff. Somebody put in the chat, they said somebody there was like an AI actor. Who put that in the chat? Can whoever that was, can you put it back in there? Because I want to look them up. I want to look them up. Throw them back in the chat for me, if you can. Um, but yeah, this is the future, guys. No use in running from it. It's here. It's here to stay. It is here to stay. With this administration that is doing everything it can to cut regulations, big donors will pay politicians to preserve their self interests. Yeah, I mean, that goes for any big business, any big industry. It's going to get government with their hands all over. They're going to have their hands all over it, all over it. AI to give you a very basic writing prompt that you're going to rewrite in your own words is fine. AI uses that infringe on people's likeness or on intellectual property that they don't own is scummy. Yeah, there's going to have to be guardrails. There's going to have to be major, major guardrails for this thing. That's for sure. I'm not arguing with that. I'm not arguing with that. You say is Tilly Norwood? Let me see. Let me look up Tilly Norwood. Let's look up Tilly Norwood. It says Tilly Norwood is a photorealistic AI generated character marketed as the world's first AI actor, created by Dutch producer Eline van der Veldens, so German company Particle 6 in 2025, unveiled to spark debate on AI and entertainment. She is designed to work in films and act as a versatile and tireless performer. Her emergence caused industry controversy regarding job security, ethics, and regulation. Interesting, guys. Interesting.
Hi, I'm Tilly Norwood, the world's first AI actor. Delighted to meet you.
Oh yeah, she gonna fuck the game up.
I may look real, but there is no need to be afraid of me. I am just here to spice up entertainment and tell stories in a new way.
There's this misconception that she's going to take real actors' jobs. I mean, I love real actors. I don't want her to take real actors' jobs at all. We actually, at Particle 6, we help the traditional film and TV industry by, say there's a budget that's only, you know, missing 20 or 30%. Normally what they would do is the writer would have to go through and cross out all the expensive scenes in order to get it made. Instead, we're saying with AI, we can create the whole, we don't have to compromise on the storytelling, we can create the whole film with some scenes that are with AI, therefore reducing the cost, and actually we're greenlighting more productions that way and more actors get to work.
I hope you'll be seeing more of me.
Listen, man. Again, I'm gonna say this again. Just like in any industry where there's a new technology that comes along, right, that changes the game, you're just going to have to pivot. You're going to have to pivot with it. You got to get with the times. There is no use in rejecting something that you can still take now and make it ethical in a way, again, with the guardrails and things like that. At the end of the day, it's like, what do you prefer? Do you prefer the, you know, looking out for the actors and the people who have been working in this industry for 20, 30, 40, 50 plus years, right? Do you prefer them getting their, you know, fair share of the pie, I guess you could say? Or do you prefer great storytelling that is going to invoke emotion from you, right? And be thought-provoking, which is something that AI can do, again, of course, with the assistance of humans, prompting it, and not having to spend a bunch of money, like I said in the video. When a writer falls short 20 or 30% of a budget that it's going to take to bring their vision and their dream to life, then they have to compromise on their vision. What if there was no more compromise? And we start getting new, fresh ideas in movies, fresh entertainment, that just stuff we haven't seen before. That, again, that's better for the consumer. So it's just like you gotta pick who you want to support here. It's tough, but I stand by what I said. I think that this will definitely help out smaller time creators. AI slop. Yeah, I mean, at that level, it's not so much sloppy. If you can get it tight, then hey, look, man, I can't be mad at it. Can't be mad at it. Let's move on, though. Let's move on. That was a great topic. I want to talk more about it in the future. 86 Ghost says Avatar could have been a full AI movie. I agree with that. I mean, it damn near looks like AI as is. Let's talk about rappers for a second. I saw this video about on a podcast where they were talking about rapper / ball player, former ball player, LiAngelo Ball. You guys remember him? Who came out with that one hit last year around like February? Tweaker. And they talked about how in this podcast, how like he basically fell off and what his problem was. Let's listen.
First, me and Jello Ball didn't do the deal. LeBron James called him after our meeting.
See, there you go. Yeah.
LeBron James and Rich Paul called Jello Ball and was like, yo, you know, if you don't want to sign, we got $1 million for you.
Whoa.
I can't compete with that. He just told me $50,000.
Do you think the Jello experiment is over?
It's over. That shit been done. He trying to play ball again.
That might be one of the craziest people to ever make the XXL cover.
Yeah, like
in that one moment, it made sense, but then like 2 weeks later,
it never made sense. He didn't put in the groundwork to make the XXL cover. You got to put in some ground. You got to have some foundation.
Yeah. I mean, that is the crazy thing about that shit is that it's like I remember seeing an interview with him where he was like acting super nonchalant and not surprised about the fact that the record took off. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is a miracle.
Exactly.
That you got one record to hit.
He was too rapper mode.
Yeah.
He was too cool. He never posted on his IG. He tried to play the Mystique role. You can't play the Mystique role in 2025, 2026.
You don't think?
Hell no. People, yo.
What do y'all think about that? Just real quick before I let the video continue playing. What do you think about artists nowadays, recording artists, not being able to play that mysterious role? You remember back in the day, before the times of social media and stuff like that, you had very, very limited access to celebrities, right? And that worked for them because they had this mystique and this aura, as the kids like to say, around them, so where they weren't super accessible. So it made you even more attracted to them, right? And attracted to what they had to say. It made you more excited to go see these actors in the movie theater or go listen to this artist's new album or something like that because you just haven't heard from them. You don't see them that often. When they were on a red carpet, it was a huge deal. But now, in the age of social media where everybody can see everyone, and that's a main driver of your advertising strategy nowadays, social media is, you can't really be waiting and sitting behind the scenes like I guess they're saying LiAngelo Ball did, because you're just going to fall off. People just don't care anymore. There's too many celebrities, too many of your peers in the celebrity space who are giving us all of the attention. So why would we be checking for you? I guess is what he's saying.
Yo, you gotta look at Finesse 2 times.
Yeah. No.
He put out, he came out, he got released, put out a hit record. And then after that, he kind of was just in rapper mode until he started doing the off the court antics. And then everybody wanted to buy in. His stock went up. He went up from $2,500 a show to $22,000 a show.
Right.
Like, people want to see you still gotta, people want to be entertained.
Yeah.
They want to be, you can't go super music these days. That's dead.
But do you think it's like hard for people to really want to listen to your music when you're just blowing yourself out doing 8-hour streams a day?
It's a thin line.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, it's a thin line. Once you become that streamer content guy,
yeah,
it's kind of hard to be taken serious as a rapper.
But think about something like Finesse is like, if he has a song do good, is going to get 1 million plus views. But then meanwhile, he might be on stream to like a couple hundred people. That's like your hardcore fan base. And I don't actually know how many viewers he has or whatever, but it's like a very small amount. And the only stuff that the mainstream or the people really on social media are going to see is when you have a clip that goes nuts.
Yeah.
But the thing with somebody like Finesse is that like, every time he's streaming, you're gonna get some clips.
Exactly.
He's entertaining and just always wilding. I asked him if he takes ecstasy pills before he hops on stream, and he said no, which I felt like it was a 100% chance that he was.
First, me and Jello Ball didn't do the deal. LeBron James called him after.
So yeah, I want to get you guys' opinions on that. Let me see what you guys are saying here in the chat. Herb, my guy Herb, he's locked in with the music game, says Mystique is not dead. Kendrick does it. Baby Keem does it. Cole does it. You have to build your fan base first. Okay, here's what I'll say about that, Herb. Kendrick and Cole, since they come from an era where, before social media was really like what it is now, so like early 2010s. That's when Kendrick and J. Cole really, really started to dominate in the rap game. They can get away with the whole Mystique thing because they know that people are going to be checking for them no matter what, because they already have the what? They have the equity. They have the equity in the game. Nowadays, when you're first coming out, if you're a new act, you better be in our faces 24/7 or else we're just going to forget. It's like we're all living in La La Land, LA, right? There's too much stuff to pay attention to. There's a reason why the LA Chargers and the LA Rams barely have fans show up to their games, their home games. There's just too much to pay attention to in LA. And I think that that is like a microcosm of what we're dealing with now in like with celebrity culture and stuff like that. There's just too much in our face. I mean, the algorithm shows us way too much to be entertained by for you to turn your nose up at the masses and say, hey, look, I'm not gonna get in you guys' faces every day or every week in front of a camera and continuously remind you guys that I'm here. Like, okay, cool. If you don't want to do that and we haven't known you for 10 plus years already, then we're just gonna forget about you and we're gonna move on to the next thing. That's what the algorithm does. We move on to the next thing, right? And that's why I say like Baby Keem, Baby Keem. I mean, maybe I'm just not as tapped in with rap music as I used to be, but I don't really see a lot of people checking for Baby Keem. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I guess I'm the perfect person to talk about this because at this point in my life, I am more of a casual listener than ever before. I tend to let new music, good music find me. I don't go out searching for it, much like I used to when I was younger. But I haven't heard a Baby Keem song since COVID, right? I haven't known of one since COVID. I don't Has he dropped an album? Has he dropped any hit records? I haven't heard about it. I just haven't. It seems like he disappeared. Like he does have that mystique, apparently, because I haven't heard of him. And so I forgot about him. I stopped caring about him. And I feel like a lot of people did too. Because he hadn't already built up that equity with us, you know? Glaucoma says, because Leangelo Ball is not an artist, he's a ball player who hopped in the studio and made a hit off of luck. That's true too. That's true too. 86 Ghost says it has to be natural, like Takeoff from the Migos. The Migos were, they were like some of the last ones to hop on the before social media train. They got on like before social media was what it was today. Before Instagram, and Instagram was already popping. Don't get me wrong. Instagram was already popping in 2012, 2013 when the Migos really, really started to heat up. But again, no, the algorithm. I'm keep saying that. It's not even just about one or two social media platforms. It's the algorithm. It is a monster. It's a monster. And it has a grip on everybody, on everyone. If you use any social media app, I mean, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Kick, whatever, everything that I'm streaming on right now has an algorithm that has people in a vice grip, you know? So if we haven't been checking for you for 10 plus years already, hey man, our algorithm's not really going to give us much of a reason to continue checking for you if you're not staying relevant. Just is what it is. Is what it is. You have to be compelling too. Many people chase virality. That's true. That's true. Stretch says Keem has not dropped like that. He's much in the same vein as Kendrick, but he's not even, to me, from what I know about Baby Keem, he's not even in the same stratosphere, like rapping wise, like bars wise, as a Kendrick, a Cole, a Drake. Some of the guys who are at the top of the game, who've been around for a long time. He's not touching them lyrically. He's got an interesting voice, a unique voice, but it's about it. It's about it. He's been dropping mini documentaries. I ain't seen him. Baby Keem's album Casino drops next week. Maybe I'll have to give that a listen. I got to give that a listen. Yeah, maybe I'll have to give that one a listen because I haven't heard about that until you just mentioned it, Stretch. So maybe, did he drop a single for it? What happened to single culture as well? I feel a lot of these artists, like they've lost the art of dropping a fire single and having that go crazy before dropping the album. Nowadays, we're just getting these, I'm so mysterious. I'm going to drop a surprise album on everybody that nobody even knows about until the day of, right? And it has a little bit of burn, right? It's popping for the first week or two, but then it just dies out, just fizzles out. Nobody else really cares about it. What happened to proper album rollouts? I feel like we don't even get that anymore. We're losing recipes, truly. We are. Kendrick is teaching him the same way he came up. But the thing is, like, if Kendrick is doing that, he's got to understand that it's a different time now, Bubba. It's not 2010, right? Where you can drop a couple of mixtapes and then drop your debut album and link up with this older rapper who's got a lot of equity in the game and they put you on. It's word of mouth. It's just not how it works nowadays, man. It's not how it works. You have to prove to us, the people, the average consumer, you have to prove to us why we should not swipe away from your mini documentary that pops up on my feed. Why we should not go to the next song that's being played. Like, you got to hold people's attention. It can't be too mysterious, man. They are related. I did hear about that. I believe Baby Keem is from Las Vegas, if I'm not mistaken. Kogan says we're lucky to even get albums. I feel like most people are just dropping singles. I don't know. I got to tap back in. Obviously, I got to tap back in. All right, let's move on, y'all. Let's move on. This is a great episode. I'm loving this episode so far. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. We got a couple more things to bring up here, a couple more things to address. This is something that I'm sure a lot of you guys aren't really aware of. So, you know, when you buy stuff on Amazon, right? When you buy stuff off Amazon, you're thinking that you're getting it from Amazon. Most people. So most people, when they return stuff on Amazon, they don't think twice about who that's actually impacting. They just think, oh, Amazon, big business, they can absorb the hit, whatever. But if you didn't know, there's a lot of like small time sellers on Amazon who are getting abused and like effed over by people abusing returns. Let's take a listen to what this lady has to say.
Let's talk Amazon returns, right? We love Amazon. You know, especially got Prime, it arrives the next day. For years and years and years, you have a lot of small, very small businesses. Single
Damn, girl, catch your breath.
Owners selling on Amazon, playing by all the rules, right? I paid $15,000 by the end of all of it for a course by the Rainmaker family.
15.
And the one thing,
real quick, if you got 15 bands to spend on a course that teaches you how to sell on Amazon, you're probably already pretty well off.
missing in their module and all of their upgrades and teachings was how to avoid return abuse, right? The only thing missing. And it was the only thing that put me under. I'm going to be 47 years old. I have an entrepreneurial spirit. And I decided if I pay for the best information and I do everything I'm told, buy all the upgrades, share the wealth, share my experience, pay it forward, which I did, I'd win. So what I did is it took me a year to launch. I worked with a manufacturer, Mr. Wu, in China, and I created a stroller bag. Let's pick one out here. So, with a huge carabiner that you can attach to your stroller. Huge. So you got like a Bob jogger, big stroller. You can wear it as a backpack. Oh, look. Oh, look. Sack it. So people were using my stroller bag and returning them after their vacation. One or two, not a problem, but we're talking thousands of lost revenue because mommies and daddies were using my stroller bag and deciding, oh, we used it, no problem, it's Amazon, just return it. Guess what? If it's not an Amazon brand and you return that, your next door neighbor who's running her Amazon business out of her home eats it. Doesn't just have to take the return and eat it, but has to pay for all the return processing, sending it back to me with missing parts.
Hate to see it.
Oh, look. Just in case it gets lost and you want your stroller back. Let's see, Andrew and Kayla Nelson, thank you so much. Let's see. Here we go. You don't want to lose your precious stroller, but your gate check tag is still attached. So what I'm doing is I'm making room for my next business adventure, which has nothing to do with Amazon or Rainmaker family ever again, by the way.
And again, she spent $15,000 on a course. Things went awry. She lost out on money, and she's still able to start a new business venture. There's a little bit of a privilege here. Not gonna lie to you. Most people wouldn't even be able to invest $15,000 in a course. Let alone if that goes bad, just be able to dump more money into something else. So it's like I feel bad, but at the same time, I don't.
As I am going through bag after bag after bag after bag after bag after bag. So guess what? I'm just letting you know, as Amazon gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and they have their own brand, and these small family businesses are competing with Amazon, and they'll return it instantly, right? You use whatever it is, you walk into Staples, scan the code, you get your money back instantly, maybe in a credit or in 24 hours to your credit card. If you try to return the same item and it's an Amazon brand, they vet the process all the way through. So you don't get your money back right away. They have to receive it. God forbid it gets lost. So if it's an Amazon brand, you might have to wait a minute. But if you're Susie Joe next door, go ahead. Go ahead. It may not look like much to you, but this is $1,000 in lost revenue. I hit my goal. I wanted to make $10,000 in 90 days, and I did it. And then the return abuse started. Rainmaker family, it was the only module missing in your $12,000 course. And then when I got on the Rainmaker family Facebook page to ask questions, and I was really frustrated with the return abuse, which Amazon doesn't even care. I spent hours on the phone proving abuse, and they gave me the middle finger every single time. And when I expressed my frustration, they kicked me off their page, so I couldn't talk anymore. I couldn't ask questions.
All right, so I think we get the gist there from this lady, what she's trying to say. Here's my thing. If it sounds like she was trying to, and I think I saw somebody in the chat say it, she was trying to skip some steps. She was trying to pony up some money and get like a quick, immediate return on investment. She said her goal was to make $10,000 in revenue in 90 days, so 3 months, and she did it. But on the back end, people started returning these, what does she say, stroller bags, which I've never heard of before at all. I mean, I don't have kids, so I guess that's probably why. But it's just, for me, if you have that amount of capital to dump into a business like this, why not go for making a product that people either A, will not be inclined to return after 1 or 2 uses because they realize they don't need it like every day, or 2, or B rather, make something that people can use every day, or C, make something that expires, right? So something that can get worn after a certain amount of time and you have to go order more. Don't go dropping $15,000, $20,000 into a product that people can easily buy, get their money's worth by using it a couple of times, and then return it to you. Right? Because if that was the case, you should have just started like a rental business or something like that. That would have been a lot more profitable. Would have made a lot more sense. So I think I saw somebody say it's a skill issue. Totally a skill issue. You're selling the wrong product. Like you had no business as a mom and pop, or I guess you're just a mom business, right? A mom made business, an MMB, selling items that people can just easily return. Because otherwise, if they keep it, I mean, it's probably just going to collect dust in their garage until they go on another vacation. She's talking about how people bought the stroller bag, went out on vacation, came back from vacation, and returned the stroller bag. Number one, I would want to know how much each stroller bag cost on Amazon. How much was she selling it for? I want to know that. But two, why make something that people are only going to use maybe once or twice a year? The average American goes on vacation. Ooh, I don't even know the exact number. Let me actually look that up. How often does the average American go on vacation? Let me see. How often does the average American go on vacation? Let's look this up because I actually really want to know. Let me see. The average American takes approximately 2.1 to 3 leisure trips per year, though recent data indicates that over half of Americans plan to take 3 or more trips in 2026. While the frequency of travel is increasing, Americans receive and use fewer vacation days than workers in most other developed nations, averaging roughly 11 to 12 days of PTO per year. So, why make something and sell something that people are going to use at max? And I honestly kind of, that number even seems high to me, right? I don't think most people are going on vacation every 4 months. I would say max. I mean, if I had to guess, people are going on vacation twice a year max, right? Most people aren't going on vacation, right? Like a real, I'm not talking about going to grandma's house who lives a couple states over or whatnot. I'm talking about like real deal. We're going out to Disney World or we're going to, you know what I mean? Some like another country or something like that. That's what I'm talking about. Real vacations, cruises, stuff like that. I would say most Americans are maybe going. Most American families are going maybe twice a year at most. So why sell a product that you dumped $15,000 just to learn how to sell the product? Why sell a product that people are only going to use a couple of times every calendar year? Makes no sense. Makes no sense to me. And it's probably counting holidays. Exactly. I'm not talking about going to Grandma Sally's for Christmas or Thanksgiving. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. Glaucoma says 3 times a year in this economy. And that's why I was like, that don't really sound too right to me. That don't sound right to me. You know? And glaucoma, I mean, honestly, I think it was probably again 1 to 2 times a year. If I had to guess, like probably like 1.4 or 1.5 times a year on average, people are going on a legitimate vacation, destination vacation. Again, not to see family, but to go and enjoy themselves, do whatever, excursion, whatever, you know. I don't see that. So the business plan was flawed. Like Stretch says here, she had no real business plan, just saw the money and went after it SMH. Yeah. Kogan says it sounds like she needs to speak to Amazon or find a way or find a new distributor and not berate her clients. I agree. I agree. Yeah. Crazy stuff though. Crazy stuff. But it does open your eyes. If you didn't know, there's a lot of little guys and little women on Amazon who are just like independent, proprietor sellers, right? They're not part of a big business. They're not part of Amazon. They're just selling on Amazon. And the way people look at Amazon is like, hey, if I return this item to Amazon, then you know, Amazon's just going to take the hit for it, and it's not going to be any skin off my back. It's not going to be any skin off their back. They can absorb it. They're a multi-billion-dollar company, one of the biggest companies in the world. I had a friend who told me one time that and this kind of goes to show you how big Amazon is. He said that he had ordered a MacBook on Amazon, a MacBook Pro. And this was like years ago. And he got it delivered to his house. But he finessed Amazon by just calling them up and say, hey, look, my package never got delivered. Like it was stolen or whatever. And they were like, yeah, no skin off our back. We'll just send you your money back for it. So we got the money back and he got to keep the MacBook. And I think it's like stuff like that that makes people think like, oh, I mean, Amazon, they don't care if you return their stuff. Because you got to realize when you buy off of Amazon, you're not necessarily buying directly from Amazon all the time. You're buying from sellers. Imagine Amazon is just like a big like farmers market called Amazon. And in that farmers market, there's a bunch of individual sellers. That's what it is nowadays. That's what it is in 2025. So Glaucoma says them boys take pictures. How? I mean, you could still say, like, you take the picture, but somebody still stole my package. But now they require like signatures, I think, probably to combat that. So I don't know if that would happen nowadays. Let's move on, though. Let's move on. Amazon is Walmart online. I know that's right. Amazon is cooking Walmart, too. Let's see. Little messiness here. I don't really know the details all to this video. It's kind of weird. It's very strange to me. But apparently, some guy left his baby on some random woman's porch. Let's take a listen.
Can I help you?
Yeah, give me my baby.
Who are you?
I'm her daddy.
Why would you leave a baby on my porch?
Don't worry about that. I know she.
Get your hand off of my knob.
Give me my baby.
As a matter of fact, you can call the cops. You're not getting her. You're not getting her. You shouldn't have left her on the porch. I'm not letting her back out in your care. You go ahead and call the cops. Because I don't care what you're about to do. You're not about to take this baby, though. You left her on... It's fucking 20 degrees outside. You shouldn't have... Okay, if you got problems, that's fine.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, dog. I know this man did not just say, in response to her saying like, hey, why did you leave your baby on my front porch? He said, you don't know where I was at, what I had to do. No matter what you had to do, big dog, why would you leave? Like, you don't leave your newborn baby. You can even hear the baby crying in the background, right? You don't just leave the newborn baby on a random person's porch while you go handle whatever business you got to handle. That's insane.
Stop rattling my doorknob. No. Come here, baby. Do not let that baby out.
Come here, baby is crazy.
Go ahead and take her to the other room. You're not getting... All right, call the cops. When you call the cops, you can explain to them why you left your baby on my porch. You're not... don't bang on my fucking door. Because now I'm going to call the cops. All right. I'm doing way too much talking here. Back the fuck up from my door.
So that was the end of the video, guys. Glaucoma says, is this real? I don't know. I don't know what's real or what's fake nowadays. I really don't. You know, I'm going to be the one getting fooled by all the AI content when I'm older. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm getting fooled by it now. But I don't understand. What I don't understand from the woman is that, like, if a baby appears on your front porch, why not call the cops immediately instead of taking the baby inside and waiting for somebody to come retrieve the baby just for you to not give the baby back, right? Like, if I see a baby on my porch and there's nobody around and I'm looking around, I check my ring camera, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see nobody. I'm just going to call the cops, wait for them to show up and be like, hey, random baby just appeared, just spawned on my front porch. I don't know where it came from, who dropped it off here, but y'all need to handle this, right? I mean, I pay taxes just like everybody else, so I don't have to worry about and deal with issues like this. And I get, from a mother's perspective, she probably wants to take the baby in. She said it was 20 degrees outside, which is below freezing. That's another super red flag for whoever this father is. take the baby inside, warm the baby up, see if the baby needs anything, check the diet. I don't know, right? But again, you have to immediately call the authorities and get some help. You can call 911, you can call CPS, you can call whoever, but you got to call somebody. Don't just house the baby and wait for somebody, because obviously, whoever is going to show back up and try to retrieve this baby is not going to be in their right mind, and you're not going to want to give the baby back to them. And you're not going to want to have a one-on-one spat with this person. What she's doing right here. And this guy's like rattling her doorknob and like, hey, give me my baby back. Oh, come here, baby. Like, no. You could have avoided all of this by simply just saying, hey, look, I already called the cops. You feel me? Just give him the look, right? The white man already called the cops. I don't know what you want me to do. Look, like one of those, like, sorry. Feel me? Like, I called the cops. They're gonna show up. You're gonna explain to them why you left this baby on the front porch, and they're gonna determine what's gonna happen to you and the custody of your baby. Now, some of you might think, oh, it's not none of your business. It's none of But at the end of the day, you got to look out at society. You got to look out for the children. Got to look out for the children. Feel me? Let me see. Mike says child neglect on one party and kidnapping for the other party. See, I can't even say it's kidnapping, because if you're on my your baby is on my property. Again, just the human in you would say, hey, look, I'm going to take this baby inside. Clearly, whoever is the parent or guardian, legal guardian of this baby, is not fit to be looking after this baby if it's just going to leave it here, right, out of their eyesight on a random doorstep, porch. Obviously, they're not fit to be a parent and look after this child. Child comes first. You know what I'm saying? Like, we as a society have to look out for the children. It takes a village, as one might say. It takes a village. Let me see. I would have called the cops and CPS immediately. That's what I'm saying, Kogan. That's what I'm saying. Let me see. World Class says if a mother did that, she'd have gave the baby back. Interesting. So if it would have been a woman who claimed that was, her kid, her baby, and was like, hey, give me my baby back, you think that woman would have opened up the door and said, hey, here's your baby back? Interesting. I saw Tila say in the chat, good for this lady here who was holding this baby hostage in a way. What would you feel if you are a woman watching this? How would you feel if, you took in this baby and it was a woman who came to the door and it was like, hey, give me my baby back? Would you give her the baby back without calling the police? Or would you still call the police and CPS? Mother to mother, woman to woman. Interesting. I didn't think about it like that. Interesting. The human should have told her to help the father. But by doing what? Just like saying, hey, look, here's your baby back. I know you left your baby, you abandoned your kid on my porch, on a random stranger's porch. You don't know what I could have did to this kid. I could have taken this kid inside and chopped it up and put it in a stew. I could have been a sick person in the head. Right? It's cold outside too. Could have done that. And you just left this helpless baby out. Yeah. I don't know. Sorry, buddy. I already called the cops. I don't know what to tell you, Chief. You can take it up with them. That's funny. That is funny. If she had a Ring camera, the evidence is there, and a simple call to the cops would suffice. That's for sure. Mike says you still can't just keep someone's kid though. LOL, call the police and let them handle that. Ain't her job to help him. What you on? Yeah. I get it. You still can't just keep someone's kid, but again, this is, I think it's like a human morality versus like common law sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I think that human morality trumps common law. Human morality would tell you in this situation, do not give this helpless child back to this person who is clearly unfit to look after this child, at least without getting some sort of authority figures involved, so they can vet this parent and really see what the situation is. And I mean, in this situation, you need CPS, you need social workers, you need cops. This is what you pay taxes for. So Tila says, I would not give that baby back. I agree. I'm helping the baby by calling the police on him. Agreed. I think we're all kind of on the same page here with this one. I think we're on the same page. I get it. You can't just like kidnap somebody's kid, but it's like, hey, like you left them unattended on my property, which is totally unacceptable just from a human morality standpoint. You don't do that. That baby cannot fend for itself in below freezing temperatures. And oh yeah, by the way, babies are a lot more susceptible to hypothermia and all sorts of stuff being exposed to the cold like that. Again, below freezing temperatures. And you just left them there. No way you're getting this baby back without talking to somebody or explaining to somebody with authority of why you did that and what you got going on. Period. Point blank, period. How do I even know that's her baby to begin with? Facts. We letting 12 handle that one, y'all. We letting 12 handle that one, chat. I'm not going to lie to you. Not going to lie. Because you just don't do that. All right, let's move on. Last one for the episode. This has been a good one. Again, shout out to y'all for rocking with me on this one. I know we didn't do any Lemon Olympics challenge to start it off, but I've been enjoying this episode. I have. And if you have, please be sure to like the video, subscribe here to Sutton Reactions, or wherever you're watching, Purple Rain Podcast, wherever you're watching. If you're watching on Kick, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, shout out to you. TRBZ, what up? We got one more. This is a silly one. Guy is in a lecture hall. I guess he's in college. And he forgot to eat lunch before class, I guess.
Yo, sorry.
So I guess he didn't eat lunch before class. So he brings in a whole cooking contraption, a pot, right? Like he's literally about to like roast some stew or something like that in the middle of class. He's boiling water.
It smells like there's something like burning or a fire.
Oh wow. Okay. What is this? Yes, I'm cooking. It's my lunch.
So their professor calls it out. I was like, it smells like something's burning in here. It's boiling water in a pot. Right? And the professor goes to scope out the situation. Like, hey, what's going on over here? He just as calm as ever. He's like, oh, I'm cooking. I forgot my lunch. I didn't eat lunch. So I'm cooking here in class. I hope that's okay.
Okay, but you can't do that here. But it's electric. It's electric.
And professor saying you can't do that. And he's arguing back with the professor saying, no, it's okay. It's fine. It's electric. There's no gas, nothing, you know what I mean? Like, it's nothing, right? I'm not starting any fires, nothing like that. It's just electric.
Yeah, I understand. Is this what you think is causing? Okay, just turn it off for now. Okay.
And the professor just lets it rock. He just lets it rock. So let's see what he cooks.
Don't snitch anymore, guys, please. It's okay, guys. Guys, it's okay.
And he's telling everybody else that it's okay. Like it's not interrupting everybody else's lesson. The fact that you're cooking a whole meal that you have to boil freaking water for. Wait a minute. Hold on. I know this man did not. Let me replay that.
Okay, just turn it off for now. Okay. Guys, don't snitch anymore, guys, please.
I know that this man didn't pull a lobster out of his backpack. Bruh. No way. This man is making a whole seafood boil in class. Insane. Out of all foods, I get it. Look, you were hungry. You came to class. You didn't have time to make food before class. A simple sandwich. You feel me? Get yourself some lunch meat, some bread, maybe even a little peanut butter and jelly. I love me a good PB&J. Or maybe pick yourself up something before class, but a salad, something, I don't know. But to bring a whole live lobster and boil it in class and make yourself a whole little seafood boil in an enclosed space in a lecture hall where everybody, literally everyone is going to know exactly what you're, that is insane. And people are fucking with it too. I mean, you got to share at that point. You can't be selfish with it at that point. You can't you can't bring lobster to class and cook it in class and distract everybody else and then also not share. Can you imagine? It's wild. That is wild, bro. That is absolutely wild, bro. Have y'all seen anything like that before? I have not. I have not. World Class says, but they call us ghetto. This is beyond ghetto, bro. This is absurd. This is absurd. Got to be a prank. Doing it for attention. Man, burnt water. My only guess is that maybe he didn't clean the pot all the way and there was something in the pot that got to burning or something. That's what caused the smell. Maybe. I don't know. But bro pulled out a whole lobster from his backpack. Can't make this stuff up, bro. Kogan says this was totally premeditated, bro. Totally premeditated. And he's recording from like first person. He's probably wearing some of those Meta glasses, which by the way, I got gifted a pair of those for Valentine's Day. Very nice, very cool. That's why he's able to record in first person like this and still use his hands. But nah, dog. Nah, dog. I don't know. That's hilarious to me. That's hilarious. That you just have the audacity to just whip out a burner, boil some water, and pull out a whole lobster. Insane. I don't know. I don't even have much else to say about it, dog. I just wanted to share that with you guys. It's hilarious. That is hilarious. But all right, guys, listen. We're gonna go ahead and transition back here to my main screen. It's been a great episode. Been a great episode 35, Katie episode of Sutton Reactions. Thank y'all all for coming through to this one. This is where we are going to, unfortunately, part ways for now, for today on Sutton Reactions. Again, I'll be back later. For those of my Ravens fans out there, you know, we will be doing Quiet Storm Sports, reacting to the Lounge podcast interviews for our new coordinators. If that does sound interesting to you, please tune into the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. Turn on notifications because I don't know exactly what time I'll be live yet. I got to run a few errands and then I'll be back and I'll start that up. So make sure you turn on notifications so that way you'll be notified when I do go live later on today on PRP. It's been a great one. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, we will be back tomorrow with another episode 36 of Sutton Reactions. And if there's anything specific that you want me to react to, as always, you can send it to me on Twitter or Instagram at SuttonDef. I'd appreciate that, and I will react to it live here on the show. More changes coming to the show in the future, trying to make it better. And I appreciate all of y'all rocking out with me to this point. And in the future, the support does not go unrecognized, guys. So until next time, stay positive, test negative, and never, ever, ever forget, even on the rainiest of days, to call God. I'll see you guys later, and peace.